I'd like to, first of all, Chris, I think this is an excellent presentation. It's clear to me that your task force is on top of this and really knows what you're doing. I really appreciate what you did tonight. I'd like to throw an idea out to the board. And I think the board, you know, these numbers to me are mind-boggling. And when the community hears these numbers, I think it's going to get a great deal of attention. I think it's time that the board has to look hard at a contingency plan. And by that, I mean, I think the board should consider establishing a subcommittee, if you will, of the dam task force to pursue the thought of going to Virginia and just saying, hey, we can't afford this. We simply can't afford it. What are you going to do when we say we just cannot do what you want us to do? And I think we need to get a reading from the state as exact. I know Chris has said he sat across the table from the dam people, and they told him one thing. I talked to the engineer on the phone here within the last couple of months. He told me something slightly different. I think we need to find out definitively what is the state's reaction going to be if we go to them and we say, hey, we just simply can't afford this.
So what about if we just add that to the questions that we raised with VA density when we go to the...
The only thing that troubles me about that is you guys are so committed to this. You have devoted so much time
committed to what?
To this design and to making something happen. That I don't know that we would...
Trust us. That's fine. I think it's a profoundly ridiculous thing for you to say, but that's fine.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I really wish you wouldn't attack the messenger. I'm trying to do something here for the good of the community, and if you don't think that I'm trying to do that, it's fine. But to say that I'm ridiculous and I made a ridiculous suggestion there's no place for that in this group.
I said the issue of trust was a ridiculous issue.
It's not an issue of trust, it's an issue of you folks.
Gentlemen, let's suffice it to say that in the meeting that you know we have set up with Virginia Dam Safety, we will raise that issue as a primary one.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
Chris?
What?
So we will put that firmly on the agenda.
That's fine with me.
The issue of the difficulty this dam will pose to this community. This dam alteration. Fully expecting them to be pretty tough-minded about it. So I know who you talked to. You talked to Rob Van Leer.
I talked to Rob Van Leer.
And Rob Van Leer is a low-level functionary in that organization, not a policymaker.
Well, I understand that. I do understand that.
But we will raise that issue.
Actually, it's a financial issue that's being faced all over the state.
Oh, I understand that. And that's why I think somebody asked, Steve asked, what are the other people doing? We cannot, you know, there were 100 and X number of class 1 dams. What are they doing? I would hate for us to be the only one that spent $5 or $6 million doing what the state wanted, and we get a gold star, and all the other guys get, well, here's your conditional permit for the next 10 years.
But to balance out your comment, I know that Lake of the Woods has already spent about $180,000 on the preliminary design. I think we spent something like $30,000 getting ready for that stage. But they had actually been forced by the Virginia Dam Safety. If in fact they were going to be recertified, if you're not recertified, you can't have a dam. They spent $180,000. I know that for a fact. Did you have something else, Tom?
I just wanted to interject something. I think instead of asking or not saying you can't afford it, I think what you need to say is that you would like to put it out over a longer period of time because it will take that much longer for us to get the money together unless the state is willing to kick in half.
Your point is well taken, but please understand, these people at Dam Safety and the Technical Advisory Committee and Soil and Water Conservation, this has been a dialogue that's been going on now for about 18 months. And what you have said and anything that comes in between has already been discussed, almost to the point that I'm surprised those people aren't vomiting. They have come up with what they've come up with in light of everything that you're talking about. The fact that we don't have any money, the fact we can't afford to do this, the fact that the PMP is never going to happen. They've gone through all this, like for 18 months.
I understand, and that's exactly, the approach you're taking is exactly why I wanted a different task force, because you said, it's been all been said before, and really what you're saying is it's fruitless, guys. We're wasting our time.
Now I'm reporting.
I understand that, but it's clear to me that you believe that, and that's okay, great. But I want somebody to go down with a fresh throat and say, hey guys, first of all, I want to tell them we can't afford it. Because that's the thing that Rob Van Leer said on the phone that is likely to get somebody's attention. Not that we want to spread it out over the next 20 years. We cannot afford it. Okay, what are you going to do to us if we can't afford it? Why can't we ask that question?
That was already agreed to. The only thing that wasn't addressed was whether or not the group of people who went down there to ask the question were trustworthy to actually ask the question.
No, that's your words, not mine. That's your words. The other thing I wanted to suggest, that this dam is such a special task force, the adjunct to the guys who are doing the technical heavy lifting over there, also began working the lobbying side of this thing. You know, ultimately, this whole set of regulations has got to be signed by the governor. Otherwise, it's just an exercise in futility. Has anybody put forth a lobbying effort to get to the governor to say, Mr. Governor, whomever he will be at the time, look what you're doing. Look what you're doing. You sit there and you laugh. Why haven't we done these things?
I laughed, John, because we haven't done these things.
The real thing that's left, the real question is, why don't you know we've done these things?
That's the reason I asked.
This process has been underway for at least 9 months.
That's the reason I asked for this review tonight, to put on the table everything we've done. And you tell me, who's our lobbyist? Who has gone to the governor? Who has knocked on the governor's door? Give me his name. Who is it?
John, you sat in these meetings, and you well know that we were unsuccessful pulling together the Virginia dam owners into an organization that was willing to put up that meaningful lobbying effort. It just didn't happen in spite of a lot of effort that was put forth to make it happen.
So that was our lobby.
That was our attempt to pull together a lobbying effort, yes, and it did not succeed because of apathy. I'm sorry that the Virginia dam owners are apathetic, but they were.
I don't care about the Virginia dam owners. I care about Lake Holiday. And if we can't get a cast of thousands to go there with us, then why can't we do it on our own?
And we have strongly appealed to our own representative, as you know.
Surely.
And you know these things, John.
I don't know that anybody has gone to the governor. I know we've talked to the local people. Okay.
Chris?
Sign your checks for $65 a month for the next 6 years, folks.